Greetings, folks. Doing Proper here, bringing you yet another in my series. And just like all the other series, I'm opening this with a bullet type cartridge righty here. That one there is a 9mm bullet type cartridge for a 9mm bullet type gun. Pistol, specifically. This here, for those who are savvy, is a Hornady critical defense round, which I hear tell is a ballistically excellent round. So there it is. That is a Hornady critical defense round. And today, this good old American round is going to go for a good old Turkish pistol. Oh my God. You know what? Here we go. I have brought you Argentinians. I've brought you Germans. I've brought you Italians. I have brought you Americans. I've brought you everything but Antarcticans. And so here it is, the Canik 55 Shark from Turkey. And look at what a beautiful Turk this is. This is the Canik Shark C. This is a compact version. The Canik Shark comes in many different kinds. For example, it comes in a full size compensated, and it also comes in Cerakoted versions from Canik, such as olive drab green, desert tan, titanium, chrome, and the same can be said for the other pistols in the Canik series that follow the CZ design, such as this one here. And there's also the S120 and the L120. Those two variants of the Canik 55 pistols look the closest and are the closest to the actual CZ75B. So now I'm going to move back and let's get into the nitty-gritty of this pistol here. This is quite a good pistol. As a matter of fact, I did my homework, just like all my other ones, before I got this pistol. And as it turns out, I'm going to say that this pistol is a lot better than I expected. And I expected great, because if the Turks are doing it, you got to expect that this pistol is going to be great. And this one absolutely is. This is a double action, single action pistol based on the CZ design. This means that the slide rides inside the frame, which in this pistol and for these formats, it is a metal frame. But the slide rides inside this frame for the length of the frame. This lends a lot to accuracy, as a matter of fact, and it is also, just like the CZ's, a double action, single action pistol. However, if there are any CZs that are decocker models, these are not. This here is simply a safety, which for this safety, as you can see, by the yellow dot right here, that means it's on safe. This is not going anywhere. And I've got it half cocked, as a matter of fact, right now. This safety is very hard to engage, but it's very easy to disengage. So if you so choose, you can carry this pistol in condition 1, which is single action, with the safety on in your holster, because the safety is easy to disengage. Or you can take it in double action only for the long double action trigger pull. If you chamber it around, as a matter of fact, your hammer is going to go back automatically. You're going to have to not point your gun in the direction of anybody, point it in a safe direction, and slowly and safely let your hammer rest in this position, and you've got a long double action trigger pull. I prefer that method, as a matter of fact. That's just me. You know, I mean, I have carried these guns in single action before, but I'm starting to prefer the long double action trigger pull, because you absolutely have to make a conscious effort to pull that trigger in order for this gun to go off. And you don't have to worry about fiddling with a safety. Now, you can do any variant of that you want. As a matter of fact, you can actually carry it half cocked with the safety on or off. That just means that since it's half-cocked, the trigger pull for double action is going to be a little bit easier. And it is a good trigger pull. Yes, it's longer and harder. It's not exactly a 1911 single action trigger pull for the double action trigger pull, but the single action trigger pull is marvelous. Listen to this. Barely any effort. Now, let's go and look at the reset here. And the reset, I'll come in close while you look on with mouths agape in amazement. There you see. Snap and pop. It's just very nice. And now let's get you up close to this gun so you can see the details on it. Here we go. There it is, the Canik 55 logo. Daddy there is a dolphin. And the grips and the grip texturing is very nice. This is a plastic grip, but I'll tell you something about that in a minute. The fish gill type serrations here are functional. The slides on these CZ variant pistols, especially from Europe and other places, are shallow slides, as you can see. So they're not exactly huge, and you're going to need some extra grip texturing in order to engage this slide, because it's not like a Glock where you've got all sorts of room to do this, right? I mean, it's a short slide. So these fish gill type serrations right here are actually very functional because they're in the inverted direction, which gives you the greatest amount of grip for moving this slide and putting it back. Right. So those not only are those beautiful, those are actually functional. Here's the slide release right here. Works quite easily. And we'll turn the gun over and you can see that the barrel and the guide rod is actually metal. The barrel better be metal, but the guide rod's metal. And it's a very smooth acting gun. Just, you can even hear how smooth it is. Like butter. It's quite smooth. And the trigger pull, of course, again, is smooth. So that's a very nice looking gun. And when you look at its form factor, its profile, what does that remind you of? Okay, now if anybody said it reminds me of the Jericho series or the Magnum Research Baby Eagle series, it does, because of that beveled front end here, right? Just mentioning that because kind of does. This is not an ambidextrous pistol in any way because there is nothing here on the right side of the pistol. Most people are right-handed, so that's not a liability to some, but if you are a left-hander, you may want to consider that. Here it is where it says Canik 55, made in Turkey. Indeed. Of course, you're going to get your warnings about reading the operator's manual before you use the pistol, and it says, it reads Shark C. It is a nice, well-made pistol. It is a good 3-dot sight picture. See if I can get you lined up here. There it is. Looks a little bit better at the range. Let me try the focus here. So you've got a very nice pistol, and it is a very attractive pistol. And if you get the Cerakoted versions, I am willing to bet those are as beautiful as they look in the pictures. There's a rear view. I do love this pistol. And a benefit to this pistol too, for those of you who are thinking about it, is that the pistol comes with 2 magazines, which these days is kind of rare now, you know, unless you're getting like a high-priced premium pistol. But this gun comes with 2 magazines that happen to be Mekgar magazines. No kidding, they're Mekgar magazines. And Mekgar is known for having great magazines. And of course right here it says Canik 55 compact. I'm not sure if you can read that right there. That's a bonus, having Metgar magazines for the pistol. And for those of you who are a little bit shy about getting a Turkish pistol, let me assure you that the Canik 55 factory, in case you've never heard of it, is an ISO 9000 factory, which means they've got rigorous standards that they have to meet in order to be able to call themselves an ISO 9000 factory. And if you want to know more about ISO 9000, Wikipedia that, ISO 9000. So, just for shits and gigs, I thought I would let you know that. But this is a marvelous pistol. I so enjoy it, and I think that you would too. And here is the one that's going to grab you by the boo-boo. This pistol here, you would expect it to be probably pretty much in the CZ pistol range because it is such a nicely made pistol. But this pistol here is only $429 at Bud's Guns. You know what? Bud's Guns is really an outstanding place, and they have a lot of variety for not a big price. So I suggest checking them out. Now let's take this thing apart really quick. Most of you have seen this, and if I'm going too fast for you, then just slow the video down and you can see it as quickly as you want to. But I'm going to do this at a normal speed. Put the gun in half cock, right? And remove the magazine. You are going to check and make sure whenever you take your gun apart that it is unloaded. And lo and behold, this one is unloaded. Now, if you look right here, let's focus in on this. You'll see that there are two dashes right here. We're going to push the slide back just like this until those two dashes meet. Did I do that successfully? I believe I did. Sorta. There we go. And now that they've met, you're going to try to pull this out. And then the way you do that is you're going to flip this thing over and you're going to push the see here pin, right? With your finger or with a magazine if your fingers are not strong enough. And let me get it back in the position. There we go. I've got meat fingers, so I have no problem with that. You pull that pin out and you let it go, and you can just pull your slide off once you have removed that pin. That easy. The frame is metal, so it's a little bit heavier than polymer frames, but it's still not that heavy. Internals of the frame look just like about any other double action, single action pistol with the CZ variant that you can see anywhere else. And the slide is made wonderfully. Are you seeing this, folks? How nicely made this is? Don't worry because the gun is Turkish. Because the Turkish are known for making fine weapons anyway. And this one here is no exception. Look at that. That is so nicely made. The tolerances are really tight, so you are not going to be disappointed. And the spring, as you can see right here, is a double spring twisted into a single spring. It is a metal guide rod, which again these days is very rare. Right? Let's put it back together. And here's what I mean by the slide rides inside the frame is it goes inside, not outside. So I'm showing you right here. Smooth. Push it back so those two dashes meet yet again. They just did. And then you put your pin back into that hole. Click that into position. Disco-rama. You're all set. Now, folks, this pistol shoots very accurately, by the way. Of course, you're not going to be able to tell that by my subpar range footage, but I'm still going to include that footage so you can at least see the pistol being shot. But this gun does shoot very accurately. In one of my examples, you'll see that I shot nearly the same hole at 10 yards. You know what? That's pretty good. That's standing. That's not at a rest. The price of this gun is about $429 at Bud's Guns, and sometimes you can find other places that'll have it for a little bit cheaper, some places a little bit more. This gun is a steal. You would expect a gun of this quality to be around $500-600. $429. I don't know, if you want a CZ type gun, why you wouldn't try this. Or the Piranha or the Dolphin. They're all very good guns. And by the way, folks, you're going to see more Turks coming. As a matter of fact, you're going to see a Sarselmas coming soon. So we're not done with the Turks just yet. Anyway, this is the Canik 55 Shark C. By all means, I do recommend this gun. And now, finally, I will add, since I told you about these grips, if you're not happy with these grips, you can just go to VZ Grips and get grips for the CZ75 Compact. And they are made to fit this gun as well. That's right. So you have grip options. You're not just stuck with a flat black grip. And as far as third-party things such as holsters and all that, you know, that might be a little bit harder to find if you're going specific for this gun. I mean, even since this gun is a CZ design, I am not sure if, you know, including this barrel, whether you would get a holster for a CZ, or since this form factor is very close to the Jericho or the Baby Eagle, whether or not you would look for a holster like that. And if anybody watching this video knows, let us know. And that way, someone who gets this pistol can get a holster that better suits them. But here it is. I hope you guys like this pistol. I very much do like this pistol. And if you have any questions or comments about this pistol, my email address is scrolling across the bottom of this screen right now. I am tooimproper. That's tooimproper@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments, ask me and I'll be glad to answer you, provided you are polite and I have the time. Thanks for watching, folks. Stand by for the range footage and the videos and pictures. God bless America, and keep protecting yourselves and your families. Contrary to what the media wants you to believe, it is always important. The Canik Shark 9mm. Done. Do you want one? The good ones they had. I made that. Shooting for the center green.